We'll have the invocation by Rotarian Tanisha.
Good morning, all. Let us pray. O God, and giver of all good, we thank thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends and Rotary ways help us to. So, did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Amen.
The loyal toast, Rotarian DeBaldo.
Good morning, everybody, to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
To the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Secretary Donette, please welcome our visiting Rotarians.
Thank you, Madam President. As persons are still entering the room, but let me welcome first our AG or Big Boss, AG Ken Strawn. Welcome, sir. Happy to have you at the meeting. Also, welcome PP Valerie Dean, Rotary Club of
Abaco.
I was going to say Abaco, but I was going to be facetious and say Nassau Sunrise. You're here all the time. We feel like we own you now, but Abaco. And also our Rotaractors, we have Lauren Adderley and Delarin Ferguson. Welcome, Rotaractors. Also visiting our guest of Rotarians, I'll allow President Francis to introduce her guest.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome Gwen Ritchie this morning. She's my guest.
Welcome, Gwen. Hope
Any
you enjoy
others?
your meeting. Yeah, and I would like to welcome my guest, Bridget Sands. Bridget, welcome to the meeting. Hope you enjoy.
Where's Bridget?
And in fact, Bridget
Can we
is
see
cousin to
please?
PP Leroy. So make sure you find PP Leroy for not being here to help me welcome her.
Okay, no problem.
PP Leroy is here.
And
Welcome, Bridget.
she's my
Welcome,
bestie,
Bridget.
and she's my bestie, and she's PP Leroy's cousin.
Welcome, Bridget. We appreciate that you have joined us. You're gonna have a fun time in this club, okay? PP Leroy
Thank
is
you.
here.
It's still a fine though, Leroy.
Always a fine. Always, no problem.
Leroy, you need to tell them you were online.
Welcome. Yes, and I think that covers our guests. Our speaker just stepped into the room. I want to welcome Miss Charlene Paul, and she will be our guest speaker. So you will hear more about her as the meeting progresses. Welcome to the meeting, Ms. Room. I think her audio is coming in. Paul, Miss Charlene Paul, sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Morning.
Thank you kindly.
Okay, and I think that covers our welcome. So it just leaves me to welcome our members who are usually here. Welcome and do enjoy the meeting. And just to remind you, our raffle this morning is an iPhone. I was expecting to see the chat blowing up with all the requests for raffle tickets. It's an iPhone XR, beautiful phone. Please make sure you buy your tickets. It's 3 for $20. Because of the value of this raffle prize, we're starting the raffle at $20, 3 tickets, and 3 tickets for $10 and 7 tickets for $20. No $5 tickets this morning. So please enter your request in the chat, and good luck with the raffle, which will be drawn towards the end of the meeting. So that covers the welcome. President Francis, back to you.
Thank you, Secretary Donette. Please put me down for $10. And now we'll ask able Sergeant at Arms to step forward and bring us the jokes and fines.
All right, since nobody thinks that I should get fined today, I'll put in $10.
Oh, yes.
If I put in 20, then I ain't gonna have no space to be fined. Rob, good to see you. Doing $20, just put an extra $5, please. You're doing such a good job at BTV. And just remember that no good turn goes unpunished. So just an extra $5, please, and thank you very, very much. Okay, now, Leroy, good to see you, man.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah, all those who are on the beach dressed up like Santa Claus, I wasn't here for it, so I'll put in an extra $5 because I was a little late and wasn't able to determine who it was. But they need to get fined $5 anyway. Thank you very much. I see my good friend Ken Strawn is here. AG, ACP, Assistant Commissioner of Police. I don't know if he told you, but one time he was staff officer and he took this fellow before the police commissioner because the fellow was drinking too much. So the commissioner said to him in Ken Strawn's presence, say, do you know that you're such a good officer? If you just stop drinking, you'll just promote you. You'll be a very upstanding police officer. You're now a constable, but if you stop drinking, I will just make you an inspector right away. Father looked at Ken Strawn, he looked at the commissioner, he said, Mr. Commissioner, I thank you very much for your offer. You say that if I stop drinking, you will make me an inspector. When I drink, I feel like the commissioner.
Good one.
Going right along. Leroy, you're going to get fined, right?
Yes.
Remember, we agreed on that. Give us $5 for that fine. Ken Strawn, for being my good friend for so long. $5, please. Thank you very much. We just want to welcome you to make sure that you feel a part of us. So you should not go unfined. Denisha, that prayer I taught you in Sunday school. You're supposed to give a good prayer. Don't just give me the rotary prayer next time. Nothing wrong with that now, but I just feel like picking on you today. Devaldo, you participated. Thank you very much. How's that little one? I hope that little one is keeping you up at night. If it isn't, if the little one isn't, you going to pay me $2. I wouldn't charge you $5 because you get a little baby. Rotaractors, glad to have you with us. Give us a $1 each, please. And I want to, it's just good to be alive. It's just good to be able to connect. It's just good to know that we're in school and we could get connected to the internet to be on. Unfortunately, of course, many of our students are having a rough time getting on, and we continue to hope that that matter could be resolved. And we look forward to the opportunity to share in that. I can't let Lavelle and Cresswell get away. They always harassing me offline, online. Cresswell made a disparaging remark about all the 100%ers as if the system is rigged. Sound like he's a Trumpite. It's not rigged. People are just home now, so they find it easy to get up. And since we find it easy to get up and we don't have to pay gas and we don't have to do all that kind of stuff, everybody should put in $2 and put in $1 happy dollar. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And those who are going to enjoy the debate tonight, put in an extra $2. You must be a glutton for punishment. Thank you very much. God bless you all and have a good day. And those of you who don't have on your pen, put in $2 as well. And those who come in late, do the same. Thanks. Take good care.
Thank you, Father P. Past President Diana, birthdays and anniversaries. Is she with us this morning?
No, I'm not seeing her on the call, Madam President.
Okay. All right.
Well, just find her whenever she comes, please.
We'll leave that up to you, Father P. And now we'll have our announcements.
While you're waiting on the
Announcements, anyone?
announcements, Madam President, let me just quickly welcome President Latoya, our Rotaractor President, and Jessica Simmons, David Thompson, who was here last week and won their phone. I hope he doesn't get as lucky this week. We need someone else to win. But thanks for that, and welcome again, David. And President Alicia Lake, visiting from St. Martin. Welcome.
Good morning, fellow Rotarians and guests. This is Treasurer Magno. I just want to announce that the Royal Bank account will be closed effective tomorrow. So if you need to make any payments, you have it today. And then after tomorrow, we'd like for you to transfer all funds to the Fidelity account, which is 101-00306, 101-00306 Fidelity Bank. Thank you.
Thank you, Treasurer Magno. Are there any other announcements?
Good morning, everybody. This is Karen Major. Just want to bring to the club's attention the e-learning program that Rotary Club of the Bahamas and Ministry of Education are in partnership with Cable Bahamas. As you would have all know, President Francis would have sent an email out a while back asking for 10 sponsors to sponsor $300 towards the program to sponsor a family that needs internet and or data service. So we were successful in getting those 10 sponsors. Now we need to move on to the next stage in the process, which is to recommend 10 deserving families of the internet service package. So I'll be coming to the club shortly, sending an email asking club members to please recommend 10 families that are in need of this service. So if you know anybody, please keep them in mind and please reply to the email letting us know of who those families are and why they're deserving of being selected for this program in the beginning phase. I imagine that you'll probably come back to the club later on with more people as we get more sponsorship for the program. Just wanted to put it out there. So again, if you know any families that are in need, please keep them in mind and recommend them when you get the email asking for names. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Director Karen. And I'd like to add to what Director Karen just mentioned. President Odette Carey from Cable Bahamas will be with us next week, and she will explain and answer any questions as it relates to the plan and beyond. Thank you. Are there any other announcements?
Good morning, President Francis.
Morning.
Hi, it's PAG Karen. Good morning, AG Karen, and all our visiting Rotarians, Rotaractors, and of course our members. As you should know by now, Saturday is World Polio Day. We're asking all of our members to advocate and donate. And what that means is to use your social media platforms to push the message of End Polio Now and promote our multi-district One Caribbean virtual event, which will occur on Saturday at 10 a.m. You should have received a link. If not, it'll be circulated again. PI Director Danny has also pushed forward a social media message that can be used. And I'm sure she'll be doing another one today as well. Also, last week I would have put in the group chat some sample social media messages that could be used. We're also asking members to donate through the endpolio.org website and click the donate button as you scroll down. We're asking members in this interesting year of 2020 to donate at least $20. But of course, donations of a greater value are certainly appreciated. We have one member who has led by example by donating $1,600, and those funds will count towards your Paul Harris recognition as well. So please participate as we all seek to end polio. Thank you.
Thank you, PAG Karen. Are there other announcements?
Hi, a pleasant good morning, Sunrise. This is your literacy chair, Janelle. It is a bright and a beautiful Thursday morning, and I am here just to say thank you to all of you who would have participated in all of the literacy events in September. The Literacy Committee appreciates you, and we just want you to know that you'll be seeing more upcoming events from us shortly. So please check your email in another week. And also don't forget to look out for the fire sign in the WhatsApp group. So again, thank you so much. And if you didn't have the opportunity because of your work schedule to participate during the month of September, we have tons and tons of activities that you can engage in until June of 2021. So look out for the emails and don't forget to sign up. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Thank you, Director Janelle. Thank you.
And President, just 1 second, President, just to welcome
yes.
President James, who just joined us. I also see a TR Lake, not sure if that's Rotarian or a visitor, but welcome to the meeting. We have prospective member Simone Bowe. She's coming into the room as well. Welcome and good morning. And Gladstone Brown, a prospective member, also visiting with us this morning. If I missed you, that's because you have maybe a phone displayed and not your name. Okay, James, I have to mute you. All right, so that's it, President. Back to you.
Thank you,
Is
Secretary
Ruben on this morning? Is Ruben on this morning?
No, he's not, Sarge.
Oh, because we don't have anybody from Nigeria today. So yeah, I'll find him in his absence.
Oh, I think they probably don't have the new link. I need to send them. I did send him the new link. So he should.
So you admitting culpability, you admitting guilt.
No, I sent everybody else is here. So obviously they got the new link. So.
Okay.
That would be
everybody received the new link by email. The problem is some persons do not check their email every day. Are you completed, Secretary Donnet?
Yes, President. Back to you.
Thank you. And now we'll invite Rotarian Dandrell to come and introduce our guest. The topic this morning, the need to network, partner, and collaborate. Our guest this morning is Mrs. Charlene Paul.
Good morning.
Thank you, Rotarian Dandrell.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mrs. Charlene R. Paul. She is FCCA CA and is an advocate for the empowerment of all in pursuit of their innate talents and abilities to better serve their communities. Her motivation stems from the call, "Is there not a cause?" By profession, she is a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants in the United Kingdom. Charlene serves as an executive in the financial services industry, accounting and banking for more than 30 years. Her contributions of service to the country includes she is founding president of the Virtuous Young Women and Smart Women and founding executive of the Avenue of Hope, which is a women's teens challenge. In the Assemblies of God in the Bahamas, including the Turks and Caicos Islands, she is a minister and the president of the National Women's Ministries. In 2012, she was a candidate in the general election and founding executive of the Democratic National Alliance Party. She assisted in the crafting of the party and constitution, in the crafting of the party's constitution and political platform. In November of 2019, Charlene became the chairperson for the newly launched Bahamas National Chapter of the Caribbean Institute of Women in Leadership, whose mission and focus is to increase the number of women in politics and the national leadership in the country. In this capacity, Charlene represents the Bahamas on the CWIIL's regional board. Charlene is married to Reverend Dr. Patrick Paul, who is the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God in the Bahamas, including the Turks and Caicos Islands, and former president of the Bahamas Christian Council. The couple has 3 children, Shaniqua, Jabez, and Kezia, 1 son-in-law, Pastor Bruce Davis, and 2 grandchildren, Shamaya and Samara. Everybody kindly help me welcome Mr. Charlene Paul, my aunt.
Thank you. Thank you kindly, Danny. I appreciate your introduction. And thank you, Rotarians, for the opportunity to share with you during this meeting, and basically to share my heart and my passion. And I believe that your theme for this period on community development, community economic development, is crucial and critical. And I want to focus on the need to network, partner, and collaborate. The old African adage is one to note, that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. Our former leaders regretted that they had helped our people to achieve political empowerment, but not economic empowerment. In fact, Prime Minister Lyndon Pindling, in his closing era, lamented that he had only fattened frogs for snakes. They had grown and created a middle class who could afford more consumable goods, with higher incomes generated by year-round tourism jobs. They could afford to send their children off to college for higher education. And generally life seemed good and well, and so it was at the time. But it only created better consumers, not producers, and certainly not investors. Now, meanwhile, on the other side of the world, a contemporary of Sir Lyndon Pindling, Lee Kuan Yew, who inherited a similar landscape in Singapore in 1959, a country where there was high unemployment, high crime, high immigration challenges with surrounding and neighboring countries, and basically an economy that relied on fishing. But Lee Kuan Yew, after 30 years, was able to leave his nation as a leading world economic powerhouse with one of the largest sovereign wealth fund for its people. You know, if you look at Singapore and you would see that they're counted as one of the top 20 countries in terms of national debt. But when you peel the onion back and you look and see who their debt is to their own people. Because yep, they borrow from their own people to then turn around and invest on behalf of the people and paying those same citizens higher rates of interest and returns for the funds. So they have found a way to work together and to invest together. Now, I had the opportunity to visit Singapore in 2017, and we made it a must to go through their archives and their museum to really examine and explore what transpired. And I tell you, one of the things that resonated with me The country was built on principles, core values, one of which was the core value of incorruptibility. And this underpinned most of the decisions that were made and the trajectory of the country. And at all times, incorruptibility will always lead to prosperity because it ensures justice and fair play. Another big thing that they had was the educational campaigns. We asked the tour guide, how was it that you can get compliance by so many people across so many different ethnicities? And the answer was educational campaigns. They made it a matter of focus to educate and to train their people. So whenever there was an area of national interest, it wasn't just announced or declared, but there was a campaign, an educational campaign to drill it down through all levels of society. Those were two things that stood out to me. Now, when we look at the Bahamas and where we are today, on the world stage, we look pretty good with a national GDP of $32,000, $32,933 per annum, to be exact, in 2019. We, in fact, rank amongst the richest in the Caribbean. But 16% of our population lives below the poverty line. And post-COVID, it's now 47.6% who have income below minimum wage of $210 per week. Further, we know that the wealth in our country is concentrated into the hands of a small percentage of people. You know, a couple of weeks ago, the governor of the central bank on a talk show indicated that they were very surprised that the central bank reserves were not drawn down or impacted post-COVID to the extent that they thought it would be. He said that they expected persons would draw down on their savings and live off their savings during these high periods of unemployment. Well, that didn't happen, and simply because the people with the savings weren't the people who were impacted by unemployment. And the people with the savings didn't have to draw down on them to live off them because they have income from other sources, businesses and other passive income drivers. So we know that people who really need the money and would be impacted by unemployment are the people who do not or did not have savings pre-COVID. In fact, pre-COVID, less than 10% of Bahamians had more than $1,000 in the bank. Our savings rate was in the negative. When we look at what this translates into for a country that supposedly is so rich, but with this high gap, this large gap between the haves and the have-nots, and a growing rate of poverty. On our social landscape, we see unacceptably high levels of crime and violence. Our rates are 3 times the world average. I don't think the average Bahamian really appreciates or understands really what these numbers are saying to us. We have unacceptably high levels of gender-based violence against women. 1 in 3 women, statistics tells us, has been or will be abused in her lifetime. Our high school grades, we know we have a D average, with only 46% leaving high school with a diploma. The National Training Institute observed of the hundreds coming in for training, Many showed a lack of interest in learning, and the prevailing attitude was simply to make money. And actually, many looked for an incentive to attend the training. Yes, they wanted to be paid to be trained. And so our basic skills are very poor. Our soft skills are very poor, meaning poor attitudes, personality, poor work ethic. So on the social landscape, we have many, many challenges. And oftentimes I wonder again, if the average educated Bahamian is truly aware of just how perilous our position is. On the other hand, there is an over-reliance on government, over-reliance on civil service for job creation. In the Bahamas, 33% of all jobs are with the public sector. Now, this compares to OECD countries where the average is 21%. Presently, we know we have over 100,000 persons on the food distribution program. That's over a third of our adult population. Government is to create infrastructure to encourage free trade and ensure fair play. And government should be for the least of us, meaning ensuring that systems, infrastructure, processes are in place to enable and empower the least of us. That is where we need to direct and focus government. So truth be told, nationally, we're in a lot of problems. And we seem to be at a national impasse. Little collaboration, little coming together, little working across party lines. Then we can turn our focus to talk about natural resources. Now, we've all have heard from all the various WhatsApp messages and journal pieces and investigative reports. We've heard about the abuse, misuse, raping of our natural resources, which for years, in fact, they were telling us that we didn't have any. They told us we only had sun, sand, and sea. But yeah, come to find out, we actually have a bit more, much more than that. We've heard about our aragonite and the multi-billion-dollar industry that is. We've heard about our fly fishing industry, and yes, and the fact that foreigners actually benefit a whole lot more than Bahamians from these multi-billion-dollar industries. And now we actually have the potential being heard of oil. So what do we do as the average Bahamian? Singularly, we do not have the capital or resources or the leverage or the power to change the status quo. What people of wealth and influence do is they network, they collaborate, and they share the risks and rewards of business ventures. They will network with people who may not necessarily be their bosom buddies, but because they have shared interests and ability to help one another, they work together. Now, we've seen this in several arenas, right locally in our country. Commonwealth Bank, where a group of Bahamian businessmen got together and bought out the Canadian bank who previously owned it. Right. When Commonwealth Bank went public, the shares were $6. It grew to $18 per share, and then was split 3-to-1, and then it continued to grow. We see the Arawak Port Development coming together. You know, I was talking to one of the fast food chains and talking about sourcing them with some supplies, and lo and behold, a whole group of them, network of them, actually purchased together. I was quite surprised. I thought they were in competition, but no, they knew when and how to work together. Oftentimes, by the time these deals come to the masses, the sweetness of the deal is already gone, and the masses are only being leveraged. Or the bar gets set so high that only the well-endowed could benefit, like minimum investment of $50,000 required. So everyone in the Bahamas benefits and thrives except the masses, who continue to squabble amongst themselves and distrust each other. Now, we're not saying to trust blindly. There is something that goes trust but verify. We're saying examine the system and then trust the system, because the key is we need community development. We need a grassroots organic movement where communities come together to empower themselves and then hold government feet to the fire by their collective strength to level the playing field by implementing laws required to do so. We need solutions. Over the years, we've had several groups who've tried to launch various projects and community initiatives, but I believe the time is now. We're at a critical juncture. We need more national pride, national drive, and yes, national unity. People who will inspire communities to band together, thought leaders who will creatively bring teams together to address economic issues within our communities. For example, one of the issues that initiatives that I'm aware of, that I think is a prime example of communities coming together to leverage their synergistic potential, where 1 + 1 no longer equal 2, but 1 + 1 could actually equal 5 or 10. So we see in the Bahamas Christian Council, for example, this group is in a unique position to once again champion the cause of empowerment for the masses. It represents the single largest constituency representing the masses across party lines with a unified goal, commission, and cause. And the cause being actually sent from on high. Now, our forefathers leveraged this position in the past to achieve political empowerment. We've heard of the Reverend Dr. R.E. Cooper and Brown and the rest of them. We now need to leverage this power for economic empowerment. My husband, Reverend Patrick Paul, as chair for the economic arm of the Bahamas Christian Council, has been working with an initiative called Bahamas Investment Group of Companies Limited. So I'm aware of some things here, but just to give for an example. So think about it. If you have 40,000 Bahamians pooling $100 together, that yields $400,000. If those same 40,000 Bahamians could pool $1,000, that's $40 million. If we could have 40,000 Bahamians pooling $2,500, that's $100 million. So you can see where the possibilities can lie. Another initiative is the Church Commercial Farming Group to improve food security in the Bahamas. This is another huge area where communities can get together, band together, work together to improve our overall position in the nation. First within our families, then within our communities, and then within our nation. We import more than 90% of our food supply with a food bill of over $1 billion. And many of these products we can actually grow in the Bahamas. In fact, we used to grow many of these products. We've gone backwards as a people as we rushed into a very, very concentrated economy in tourism. Now, intentionally or unintentionally, we have outsourced our food supply chain. And for an island nation, that's a dangerous position to be in. So again, this Church Commercial Farming Group is seeking to encourage members to first become backyard farmers, growing what they eat and eating what they grow. But it can also facilitate production and processing facilities for farmers. Now, we used to have this in Eleuthera. You remember Hatchet Bay? In fact, when my husband and I honeymooned in Hawaii, they took us to the Dole plant. And lo and behold, on the tour, They showed us where the first Dole pineapple came from. Yep, Eleuthera. Now they took our gold, our Dole, yep, it was our gold, because now they have termed it liquid gold, and they've canned it and they're selling it back to us. We were there just 2 years ago, and what they're doing with pineapples now is just amazing and tremendous, and drill it right down to even small businesses on the streets selling pineapples juiced right before you. In fact, it was told that Sidney Poitier got his start in the US by being transported on a boat taking tomatoes to the United States. I can't even mention the salt being left on the beaches in Long Island. I was there, saw it, just lying there, sea salt. We took a 5-gallon bucket full and it lasted us for a whole year. But, you know, it's there on the beach. Now, these are high capital and knowledge-based industries, but with community development, with pooling our resources, these barriers are not insurmountable. So I say enough of the rhetoric, enough of the lip service. We need leaders to emerge who will bring our people together in communities, to work together, to fight together for economic empowerment. We must come up out of our comfort zones. Yes, and a lot of our middle class, professional class really are in a comfort zone where every man is for himself and God only is for us all. But Martin Luther King Jr. said it well: injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And much injustice is taking place in our lands and on the backs of poor people. This is not rocket science. This truly is not difficult. It can be done. Our forefathers accomplished much with a whole lot less than what we have. Less educated people and less resources. We can and we must do this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Paul, for that wonderful presentation. Rotarians, the floor is now open. Kindly ask your questions.
Not seeing any questions, President Francis, but comments.
May I ask, Mr.
Yes.
Paul, and thank you very much.
Please go right ahead.
Dear husband, my regards, and my wife sends hers. I told her you're going to be speaking today. Do you have any success story or stories of what collaboration not has so much has done? Because we know of the Sunshine Boys, and you did mention the Commonwealth Bank Initiative. How is the church farming thing going, and what needs to be done there? Because I happen to know a little bit about it, so having served with your husband on the Bahamas Christian Council. What areas are still available for us to collaborate? Unfortunately, we boast of being such a religious nation, but then we're such a broke nation in so many ways. And then when you compare, and this is a big theological question, when you can compare our economic and social conditions with some people who don't go to church, right, who don't believe in God, we are not faring well at all. So the question is, how's that farming going? What needs to be done? What can Rotary do to, well, probably, do you have an idea that you could throw out to us that could empower some of our people, especially in times like these?
Thank you, Father Palacios, and you've hit the nail on the head. It is an indictment on us as a people, and really the indictment is our failure or our inability to work together, because it isn't that our nation is broke. Like I showed you, and our gross domestic product, and on the world scene, the Bahamas is seen as one of the richest in the Caribbean. It's that the wealth is not trickling down to the masses. And so that is why it's so critical for the masses to come together, to work together, because in doing that, we bring our collective strength to ensure and force government to enact the laws that will level the playing field. Many of the laws that we have in place are already skewed towards one set of our society. And so when we peel back and say, well, you know, what can we do and how can we collaborate? And that's why I drew reference to the Christian Council, because yes, we are a very religious nation, and that's why the Christian Council represents the largest constituency of people. And so I'm saying leverage that. Now the Christian Council is seeing the light in many ways in that, and so they're bringing forth these initiatives. Thankfully, many of our heads of churches have already come on board, and they've actually put their money where their mouth is, and so they've already funded the beginning of this initiative. And so the message now needs to be to really encourage our people, our average Bahamian people. Listen, when you hear and you see an opportunity to jump on board these initiatives, do so, because it's only in working together we have power. It's only in working together we have strength. And so the sky is unlimited. We have resources, we have ability, we have capacity. The capacity in our nation is huge. We cannot outnumber or you know, work out more than what we have. The capacity is there. We just need to pool our resources, bring the knowledge base together, the thought leaders work together, the creative people come together and craft the way forward. This is what the others do and have been doing, and that's why they're successful, and we can't knock them for it. What we need to do is get ourselves together. So, Father Palacios, the answer is support the Christian Council in what they're doing, and Rotary, if Rotary could create similar communities, bringing people together on an economic front, in an economic empowerment initiative, do so.
Okay, may I just make a further comment? My son is involved with two other young men who, well, they headed this initiative to do what is called freight farming. That is farming in a 40-foot container. That's the way of the world right now. We have one at our office in Airport Industrial Park. We are going to be getting some more. But believe me, that is the way forward. It is strictly organic. It is an upgrade of hydroponic. And for example, in a 40-foot container, you can produce 3,000 heads of lettuce a week, every week, consistently. I spoke with the president of BTVI, who is on this, about what we were doing, and he's enthusiastic. And it'll be good for us to say, put a container there. Now, they ain't cheap, but in terms of ROI, return on investment, it's pretty decent. What I'm saying all this to say, there are other ways apart from the rather back-breaking task of farming and using modern technology. This freight farm can produce with very minimum labor, very minimum wastage, and it's done completely digitally, apart from the planting, but all the watering and the lighting and stuff like that is done. I throw that out to probably, that's a project Rotary might want to become involved in, or some of the churches or other organizations might want to become involved in. And I'm prepared to hook you up with the young men who initiated the project and who are ready in the advanced stages, not only of planning, but one is already here and others should be on their way.
So to that, Father Palacios, absolutely right, that's the track. But here is it where the collaboration is needed. So we can have individual farmers doing that, but what the suppliers, what the food stores, the big chains will say to these individual groups is, I need this supply consistently and I need this supply year round. So it is in coming together that as a block that now we can collaborate in ensuring that the supply is produced year round, and this knowledge, this education is shared widely amongst the communities. So these are the things that the commercial farming group is actually working on as we speak, so that you have that leverage also to say to government, we can produce these items, so help us out with various laws, tariffs, etc., to protect the local industry. So absolutely on point.
Madam Paul,
Thank you. PDG, you had your hands up. Do you have a question?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Good morning, Mrs. Paul. One of the largest inhibitors to collaboration and economic growth here in the Bahamas is the political divide. Do you have any opinion as to how that could be addressed?
Yes, and so glad you pointed that out too. And that again is where the church stands in an excellent position to work across party lines in several ways, because one of the things need to happen is education and training. And so we have to help our people understand where the party lines have to be drawn. We have to retrain, re-educate our people to understand what is most important. And the church is better and best suited and should be best suited to do so. Now, I know individual leaders in the church have their own challenges with this, but again, they too are called to move beyond what divides us to what unites us. And the cause is great. There is a cause, and the cause is we have our people suffering and dying because of these divides, because of the inability for us to come together and work together. So the social ills just keep mushrooming and burgeoning, and we're about to burst. So yes, organizations like the church, like Rotary, civil society, and that's the other reason why I'm involved in Caribbean Women in Leadership, which is a multi-partisan organization that seeks to get more women involved in politics across party lines, because this thing is bigger than us. Our nation cause and benefit is bigger than any individual party, and no one party has the answer or can bring the solution. It has to be through collaborative efforts.
Thank you, Rotarian. Leon, you may ask your question now.
Hi, Madam Paul. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
I want to follow through on the comments of Sergeant at Arms, Palacios, James Palacios, and PDG Felix. Two things. One, what do you think is the, put the political divides aside, what do you think is one of the major problems with Afro-Bahamians in getting together? Is it a matter of trust with one another, that we don't collaborate? Because certainly the other Bahamians that are less of a pigmentation than us, they find a way to do it. They find a way to do Commonwealth Bank. Secondly, when we start talking about the farming and producing products, how do you think we break that barrier, particularly since we are members, well, observers of the WTO, and it's very difficult to put in tariffs and legislations. So I get my bananas, homegrown bananas, I sell it to an Atlantis hotel. Most fellas will tell you that if you go to the restaurants, you will see the Chiquita bananas. And while Atlantis will buy your bananas, the bananas are served in the employees' cafeteria. And it does not make its way to the table of the guests at Atlantis.
So a couple of things there, Leon. I'll start with the last one because I remember that right first and then work my way back. When we talk about producing, we know that there are different grades of produce. And so that's where the education, the knowledge base comes in to help our people to grow the grade A, the A grade products, so that we could get them on the tables of an Atlantis. We're not asking for acceptance of mediocrity. We're wanting to meet the standard. We're wanting to come up to the bar. And so that's where through collaborative efforts, we can ensure that our people are trained and knowledgeable on how to do this. Now, when we have that in place, then yes, we look to government to protect our industries. And yes, even ascension to the WTO allows for exceptions. There are many countries around the world who have exceptions in their ascension to enable and protect fledgling industries in their nation. And we have to find a way to make it happen. We must always seek to negotiate from positions of strength. And too often our history has been that we have not done so. We've not done our homework sometimes, I dare say, before coming to the negotiation table. And so I think there's room for improvement all around in that way, but it's possible. I believe it is possible. And I believe that once we come and we're doing it together, we can make that happen. Now, our lighter skinned brethren are able to do this. And actually they do this together with some of our darker skinned brethren.
True.
So it isn't that our darker skinned brethren have the inability to understand the capacity and collaboration. We just have to help the masses. And that's where we as the church, Rotarians, civil society, we have these huge educational campaigns that are needed. We ourselves have to model and mirror the message. So we're telling others, you know, think beyond party colors, then we ourselves must do so. We're telling others to reach across party lines, then we ourselves must do so. So if there's an idea or an initiative by another group that is working, that works, that is good, then let us connect. Let's don't try to reinvent the wheel, replicate, duplicate. Let's collaborate. That's what the message would we have to help each other with. Too often we compete amongst ourselves where we don't need to be competing. We need to learn more to complement each other and stop the competition, the wrongful competition.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Paul. Now we'll ask Rotarian Sharia to bring the vote of thanks, please. Is Sharia with us this morning?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had my mute off. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Ms. Paul, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Nassau Sunrise, we want to thank you, God. Thank you for a very enlightful presentation on your topic, network, partnership, and collaboration. I thank you for taking the time out to come in to present a great presentation. It was very informative and very insightful. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Rotarian Sharia. And now we'll have the raffle by Secretary Donette.
Good morning again. And just before we do the raffle, Madam President, I think PP Diane would like to do the birthday. She missed that ahead of the The start of the meeting.
Along with the fine for her. Don't forget that.
I'm not the fan.
Yes, past President Diana. Please go ahead.
A very pleasant good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say, Shira, happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh.
And that's the only celebrant for birthdays and anniversaries for this week. Shira, tomorrow. We'll see you on the chat.
Thank you.
Awesome. So,
Shira, just put in your birthday money, please. You're all alone. That should be $20, but we'll just charge you an extra 10, and you'll have to put in your age. And we're talking about age now, not your waistline, your age.
I hear you.
Enjoy.
So just before I draw the raffle, I just want to say to our speaker, Mrs. Paul, the comments in the chat room, very, very good comments, very informative, very insightful, awesome presentation. I agree 100%. We should model it and advocate. We will make this recording available on our YouTube channel, and we'll send you a copy of it. I just had a comment. I was listening keenly, but I was also preparing the raffle, and I didn't hear any mention of hemp, but that's a discussion for another time. Right now, we're going to go to the raffle. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, this is the last call. I have $390, but I'm sure an iPhone is worth way more than that. So I'm giving a last call for the raffle. It's 3 for $10 and 7 tickets for $20. But because we're not selling any $5 tickets, I'm putting 1 ticket in the wheel for the $10 tickets and 2 for the $20 tickets. So your last chance for the raffle. Yes, I'm seeing AG Ken and Gwen.
Put in $10 more for me, please.
And Father P.
This is Barrett. Put in 10 for me, please.
Barrett. All right, so let me
Hold
just.
on. You got my 10 for Ricky and
Yes.
10 for Cresswell.
I did.
Give the 4 to Ricky because Ricky is feeling lucky. Give 3 to Cresswell.
Okay.
You don't listen, do you?
Cresswell, your 7 just gone to 2.
Don't give any to Dino.
I want to double what I put in already.
Barrett,
did you see the last person? Lauren.
AG Ken and Gwen. Okay, 1 second. And who else?
Are we up to 500 yet? We should really get 500 out of this.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to double. You have to make sure that I'm double. So instead of 20, make sure I have 40.
Okay, so it's 40 for you, Dino. Okay, so that's 2 more tickets.
Dino, you need to actually start playing the numbers. You've been extremely lucky.
All right, let me see the chat. Yes, it's an iPhone. 1 more for you, Lavelle. Okay, iPhone. Come on, guys. Mario.
Lavelle, you should get that. You should
sorry?
get a 10 in the name of Plumber.
Okay, all right, so I think.
Madam Secretary, the iPhone donated by.
Yes, and so just to let you know, the iPhone was donated to us by Alive. Get your Alive phone. If you don't win this morning, please head over to Alive and get yourself a nice XL iPhone XR or the Galaxy S Lite that we raffled last week. But more exciting raffles to come, so keep it going. 10 more. Oh my gosh. Okay, Devard, I hope you don't win though, because you won last week.
I hope neither he nor Dino wins. Dino is always winning.
Dino always winning. Right?
All right, so.
Madam Secretary,
yes.
just a note, the vouchers are at my office. So the winner can
Right, so
collect the
whoever
voucher.
wins, please pick up the voucher at, you need that voucher to take to Alive to redeem the phone. So head down to our president's office and you can collect. So now I have closed the raffle. I'm going to shuffle. 1 second, let me hide the video.
Right there.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle. All right, I know it looks tiny. I was hoping I could expand. Oh, let me see. That's the biggest I can get it. Okay. Are you ready? Are you seeing the screen?
Yes.
All right, here we go. After 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, please let it be me. Please let it be me.
Ricky,
Please.
Ricky.
Oh gosh, it's Devard again.
No. Hey, I don't see my name on there.
You did not order a ticket. You didn't order a
Yes, I
ticket,
did.
Dano.
Look in the chat, honey. I put it to everybody.
No, but remember, I can't see when I'm preparing the raffle, so you have to say it out like the others. Say the name.
Hey, Devon, Devon, let's link up. Let me wake something up.
Devard, you're banned from playing the raffle. Congratulations.
No. He could
What
still
was
play,
that?
but he can't win. Because we need his money back. We need to get the money back from him.
Actually, Devard won last week and he paid double his prize. He was so appreciative. So I'm sure he's going to put in $100 for this one. But that's it. Congratulations. Back to you, President.
Yes, and now we'll have the four-way test. Rotarian Akema.
Of the things we think they'll do, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all
Is it
concerned?
fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And better
And will it be
friendship?
beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
AG can say the system is rigged. No, it's not.
Just put it.
Call it again. Call it again.
Yeah, Donna, this call, no. This calls for an investigations by AG's Law and Order.
Yeah.
We will get back to you with the outcome, okay?
All right. AG, tell him cut it again. Cut it again.
Call
Spin
it again. I really wanted to win because I bought $60 worth of tickets so I could win that.
Final toast by Rotarian Leah Carlo.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. To Rotary around the world.
Rotary around the world. Thank you, everyone.
And
have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. The video will be posted online. So for those who want to listen to that beautiful message again from Mrs. Paul, you'll have a chance to do so.
Later, guys. Stay safe.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Crestwood, get home before the curfew. You and Lavelle now.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks for coming, AG Ken.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks for coming, Gwen. Bye, Leon.
Bye.